and the topic is travel.
I've just come back from Australia. While I was there, I learnt some Aboriginal words like boo, which means to return, because when you throw an ordinary meringue... I didn't think much of the film on the plane coming back from Australia. It turned out to be a 24-hour animation of a plane travelling from Sydney to London. Whatever you do, don't go and see Time to Destination. Italians, slanty little eyes. Sorry, italics. Just come back from Dartmoor, where I spent 3 days shooting at life-size models of Sarah Ferguson and Princess Diana. Got nothing against them myself, it's just they made it part of the Duke of Edinburgh's awards scheme. I've just come back from Russia. Always wanted to go out with a Russian girl, because in my experience, inside every Russian woman, there's another Russian woman.
Can I say that the jam thing irritates me, though, because the jam thing is that we've been told there's an opportunity for Britons to sell jam to Europe.
Yes.
That's the big opportunity, right? And all the Twitter comments were trying to sell jam to the French, all the French provide all of that. But they do, but we make really good jam. We make really, really good jam. And I hate this thing.
Doing down the country.
Yeah. No, whereby everything that comes from France is more sophisticated. Their jam just comes from a big jam factory near Marseille. I mean, when I was a kid, we all thought ski yoghurt was incredibly sophisticated. It was made in Swansea.
When you started that, I thought, where's he going with this? And it's just like, oh, he just loves jam.
French jam is really complicated. I mean, it's not good because you go to Waitrose.
Jesus Christ.
You just want a jar of raspberry jam. Can you find it? You can find framboise. What the fuck is that?
It's food.
Oh, OK. Oh, very similar topics. I once went to a buffet in Reading, and that's not even the joke. It was organised by a woman called Wendy, and it was so beige. It was so bland. It was like a buffet representation of Reading. I looked across this buffet, right? They put out sausage rolls, right? Sausage rolls, right? Where they just whipped off the cellophane and put the corrugated plastic straight down on the table. Like we were dogs! Then we had Scotch eggs, right? Scotch eggs cut into quarters. Apparently no one can eat a whole one. Then we had breadsticks displayed in a pint glass. I thought I was at a fucking UKIP rally. Then she starts putting down cold pizza slices next to wontons. No one's mixed Italian and Chinese cuisine like that since Marco Polo. Then she brought out the quadrant of dips. You know, the 4 dips. The 4 dips of the apocalypse. The white one. The other white one. Then there's a green one. What's that? Guacamole. Then there's a pink one. What's that made of? Sillet bang? I was just glad to have something made of some sort of colour. Anyway, it was a terrible buffet, but thank you very much, Wendy.
Who made a typically colourful speech at the conference?
Can I just ask one question?
Oh, my God. Is it how
Why
they get the little
isn't
safety thing to go down?
Why isn't there orange jam?
Marmalade is...
No, that's not jam. That's got bits in.
Yeah, I'm happy to move on as well. I'll give you a clue. The answer is Boris Johnson. Who?
It was Boris Johnson.
Shut up, I have to ask the question first. Let's stick to the conventions of normal language. Who made a typically colourful speech at the conference?
Was it Hugh about jam?
OK. The topic is drinking.
Now, according to police, right, apparently in nightclubs, 1 in 20 drinks are spiked. Now, I was thinking this could give you a little excuse not to go into work the next day. Phone up work, I can't come in, my drink was spiked. How do you know? Well, I had 20 of them. One of them must have been. Of course, if you go and see your doctor now, they give you a little test, don't they? My doctor, he said to me the other day, he said, how many units of alcohol have you had this week? I said, 21. He said, that's not bad. The maximum's 28. I was thinking it was bloody lucky I saw him on the Monday.
OK, let's see what we've got left for Frankie. Let's spin the wheel again. And it's drinking.
As a teetotal alcoholic, that should be quite good. I drink energy drinks now. It's good that they've finally managed to can anxiety. It's good that there's a drink that gives me the resting heart rate of a serial killer who's just spotted that there's a sale on at B&Q. I hate this thing where Guinness always go, oh, we're the national drink of Ireland. Yeah, you're the national drink of a nation of alcoholics. That's like saying that you're Gary Glitter's favourite search engine. I'm teetotal, right? A concept which Scottish people don't understand. So I did a gig in Fife, and I was on stage, and this guy was going up to the bar, and he went, hey, I'll get you a drink as well. And I went, well, I used to be an alcoholic, so I don't drink anymore, but thanks anyway. And he looked at me for a bit, and then he went, a pint of lager shandy?
Frankie Boyle. And the topic is food. Oh, there you go.
Now, this is one of my favourite topics because I actually hate restaurants. And my wife loves restaurants. She's middle class. She's been skiing and everything. And she loves a restaurant. She says, can we go to a restaurant at the weekend? And I say, yes, we can. And we're there, we're barely there 2 minutes, and she's like, isn't it a lovely ambiance? And I say to her, I don't know what you're talking about. I've worked out what an ambiance is. It's a night out about poor people, isn't it, basically? It's people with a few quid to say, can we just have one night out about the poor people turning up? You know what they're like, they'll be banging spoons together, singing Mailman's a Dustman, creating an atmosphere. We want an ambiance. So we're trying to enjoy the ambiance. But something's happened spoiling it for me. There's no tomato sauce on the table. Creating the situation when my wife looked at me, she said, you're going to ask for tomato sauce, aren't you? I said, yes, I am. Because I'm going to have the risotto. You can't eat risotto without red sauce, it's too dry. It's a health and safety issue. You've got to zhuzh it up with a bit of red sauce, right? So I thought, I'm not having it. I said to the waitress, excuse me, do you have any ketchup in the building? She's looked at me like I'm the worst pleb God has ever put breath in. She went off to the kitchen and I saw her making her way back with a pot about that big, about 2 chipfuls of tomato sauce. I thought, oh, here we go. She's tried to put it down and walk away like she's doing a drug deal or something. And I stopped her. I said, hold on, love, don't rush off. And I took a sip of it. And I looked at her, I said, yes, I'll have a bottle, please.
Things you wouldn't hear on a TV cookery show.
Hi, I'm Nigella Lawson, and before I bake any cake, I like to chop my flour into lines.
You can see that's rising nicely. It does that every time I think about how much money Channel 4 are going to pay me.
Hello and welcome to Can't Cook, Won't Cook. Today we won't be making anything. Goodbye.
Coming up next on Saturday Kitchen, whatever we want, because we know you're too hungover to change the channel.
This is a hot pot.
This is a fucking hot pot!
So, if you want to bone a chicken, what you need to do, take it on a couple of dates, and then invite it back, put on some romantic music, and let nature take its course.
There is a bit of a problem on this week's food and drink. I've finished all of it.
This is a Thai chicken curry, or as I like to call it, hot Asian cock.
OK, Sam, let's see what you've brought in your bag of ingredients. It is a pint of wine and a large Malteser.
Right, welcome to Southern Cooking for Northerners. First up, quinoa. What is it and why it can fuck off?
Well, if you're going to pop it in, don't forget to cover it first. I didn't, and that's why I'm making paternity payments.
Hello, I'm Greg Wallace, and this series of MasterChef, we won't be using plates. We'll just be eating off my shiny, shiny head.
Hello, it's Nigella Lawson here again. I'm just going to say the word spatchcock for no reason. Spatchcock.
Anyone can make this. You can't, Beatrice. Sorry, you can't beat rice.
Let's just all go home. Yeah, let's just go home.
Welcome to Great Indian Bake Off. I'm Paul Bollywood.
Hello, I'm Jamie Oliver. Welcome to my new show. Stick a bit of fucking sugar in it.
In other news, what can happen to drunk air passengers in the future?
They might sober up.
Yeah.
They're complaining drunks are getting on planes. They make you wait for 2 hours in a pub. That's just a brilliant pub that happens to have good transport links.
It is true, though, isn't it? It's the only time you see people sort of 3 o'clock in the morning in an airport pub just going, oh, I'll have a bacon sandwich and 4 pints of Stella. That seems to make sense, doesn't it? We're here. As soon as you take away windows, all responsibility goes, doesn't it? It can be any time I want it to be.
Totally agree. I saw a guy, this was out of order, 7 a.m, having a Wagamama's. What the hell are you doing?
You're right, you're right.
What is going wrong in your life? There's a guy drinking Guinness, looking across, going, he's got problems.
It's only a problem on planes, though, isn't it? It's not a problem in airports, is it? And it's only a problem on planes if you get so drunk that you go, right, you, outside, now.
But they always say that people get drunk and try to open the doors. Presumably you can't actually open those doors.
I don't think someone can just run... The doors, obviously, they can't be open, otherwise we'd all still be on the last plane we got onto. You can't... Yeah, but you can't in a kind of a, hello, you're a very pretty... who says, whoa! That big roundy bun doesn't all... Whoa! Give me a call! That's right! James O'Reilly.
This is the news that IPSA review body has proposed a rise in MPs' pay to around £74,000 a year, an increase of 9% on their current salary of around £66,000. Should they get a pay rise?
No.
Why?
Well, because it's easy for me to score points with the audience by saying no.
OK.
£8 grand's hardly enough to put a secret love child through private school.
Wait, it's not about football, is it? In football, you have to stop other countries nicking your best players. It's not like other governments are trying to nick our politicians, is it? Cameron's going to be out like, I've said no to Spain, they can't have Gove. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to buy him.
I feel quite sorry for MPs because people all think that all MPs are money-grabbing bastards. But they're not all money-grabbing.
Ed Miliband has said that he's going to stop any Labour MPs having a second job by the next election. But, of course, by then, a lot of them won't have a first job, will they?
They get 15 quid a day food allowance for lunch.
Yes, they do. And
that's like free Subway sandwiches. That's free footlongs. That's 36-inch of sandwich. That is too much for anyone. You can wear it as a belt.
George Osborne looks like he could take 36 inches.
I don't think the voucher is exclusively for Subway.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah. So it's just like, this is only redeemable at the Parliament Subway. And the queue is really long. This is one Subway guy making dirty sandwich.
It's the travel stuff, right? They're being restricted on taxis. They're not going to be allowed to use taxis anymore. Not going to be allowed to use taxis. Where are Tory MPs going to get their ideas if they're not allowed to take taxis?
David Cameron is so basically like a taxi driver. I'm surprised he doesn't stand with his back to the dispatch box going, I'll tell you the country's problem. It's immigration. That's the problem with this country.
They never have proper second jobs, do they? It's always like a posh sort of business role. It's never just like... Because I used to work in a market and in a pub. Do you know what I mean? Like, my dad used to be a carpet fitter and on the dole. Do you know what I mean? They've always got posh...
OK, the next topic is unlikely letters for an agony aunt to receive.
Dear Deirdre, I'm leaving you.
I want to trace my father. Could you suggest a good marker pen?
I have recently discovered the pleasures of butter in sex. I smear it on the doorknob to stop the kids coming in.
My voice is breaking and there is hair on my chest. Is this normal? Yours, Sally Jenkins, age 9.
Dear bitch, I have trouble making friends. What are you going to do about it?
Dear Deirdre, can that giant man lift me up like a baby?
You bet your ass he can.
I have been saving up for a sex change. I don't care what my wife says. She is going to have it.
Dear Auntie, my testicles are the size of space hoppers. I don't need any advice. I just wanted to tell someone.
My husband and I are 82, and he has recently lost interest in sex. Thank God!
My wife says that I'm a compulsive liar. I think she's jealous that my reggae duet with Rio Ferdinand has reached #1.
I know where you live!
My problem is that I can only ejaculate when I hear a buzzer.
The next topic is things you don't want to hear at Christmas.
I thought we'd have a vegetarian dinner!
It's exactly what I wanted. Princess Diana Scalextrics.
Ding dong merrily on high.
Now, you know that I told you that Dad died in his canoe?
I'm sorry, there was no chimney, so I came through the central heating system. I think I've buggered your boiler.
She's not my granny, and she's not your granny. Whose granny is she?
This year, I have decided to give my Christmas broadcast completely naked.
Mummy, look what we found in these stockings. Daddy.
Did you know that if we took all the money we spent on presents every year and gave it to the homeless, they'd probably spend it on booze?
Oh, yes, this year we're putting the boat out. We're having a duck, in a goose, in a turkey, in a dog, in a horse, in an old lady.
We've got a problem. Mum doesn't know whether Slutty Vixens 3 is a play, a TV show, or a film.
You know, there are so many unwanted dogs about at Christmas. This year we thought, why bother with the turkey?
Bad news for children. Father Christmas has gone into administration.
Who wants stuffing? Granny?
Now we play a round called Stand Up and Joke Off. This game... This game involves Mark, Andy, Frankie and Russell. So if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is a stand-up challenge. Our random news generator contains a bank of topics. We spin the wheel, and when it stops, anyone can step forward and try to make us laugh about the subject it's landed on. The winner is a team. I judge who produce the funniest material. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first topic is airport security. Who wants to come in that? Mark.
Hey, I find it very stressful, the amount of security at the airport these days. All these announcements, ladies and gentlemen, at this time of maximum security, at this time of height... What do they mean, at this time of maximum? When's it going to stop? Ladies and gentlemen, I think they've gone. If you see a mysterious package, shake it! I tell you what I really hate, though, airports, those metal detectors you have to walk through. I went on holiday, well, in fact, I'll tell you, I went to Hong Kong, and I always set the metal detector off. Beep every time, beep, beep, beep. So this time, walk through it, nothing, no beeping. I was so relieved, I went, yes! Which doesn't help. If anything, that weakened my position slightly.
Well done, Mark Watson. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is leisure. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I don't quite know how that signifies leisure. How has that old man got her? That's a joke. Anyways, we've got more disposable income now than ever, right? And this is quite an odd story, but my mum recently bought a hot tub. Now, I don't know if anyone else... It's quite exciting when your mum gets hot. She put it at the bottom of the garden, you get quite giddy, and then you're in it, and then you realise you're actually just outside having a bath with your mum. And you've got no recollection of how to behave, right? And I've got a slightly lazy eye, so my mum's like, are you looking at my thighs? No! It gets freakier. My dad jumped in, my brother jumped in, my sister jumped in, and two of our family dogs leapt into the pool, right? So we're all on the edge, like really British, terrified, we're all naked. Dogs are just going around like that. Having the time of their life, right? And my mum just chose this moment to embarrass us, just looked up and went, hey, guess what? Well, she wasn't doing a dog impression, that would have been weird, right? She went, guess what everyone in this hot tub's got in common? I don't know, Mum, what? That's a dog hitting me, right? My mum looked up and went, everybody in this hot tub has sucked my tits.
OK, that leaves us with Andy and Frankie. The next topic is... It's Britishness. Who wants to come in? Mr. Parsons.
The photos.
Yes. Britishness. For those of you who require more than just a setup to a joke, there's only two things we like, aren't there? Huh? Moaning and queuing. And why do we like queuing? So as we can have a bloody good moan about it. the queue is, how slowly it's moving, and how those rude foreigners have pushed in front of us because they don't have any decent concept of what a good bloody queue looks like.
There you go, Andy Carson. OK, Frankie, let's see what you've been left with. It's science.
Scientists have just built the world's biggest ever super collider, and they're doing an experiment to find out what makes up protons. I hope that if the experiment's successful, the whole of our reality will dissolve and a big sign will come up that says, Level 2. I always wondered, you know that woman that had the face transplant? See if she gave you a blowjob, would that technically count as a threesome?
Thank you, Roy, ladies and gentlemen. I think in that round the points go to Russell and Andy. Everyone come back. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is going out. Rob.
I like going out and getting drunk. It's fun, isn't it? I got so drunk the other week. It was the most hungover I've ever been. In the morning, I bought a McDonald's breakfast and ate it in a queue for a Greggs. And I still don't know if I'm ashamed or proud. I don't like tequila, though. I don't like doing shots. It annoys me with tequila. It's too much admin, isn't it? So I'll lick a bit of salt, eat a lemon. What are you doing that for? It makes it taste nicer. It's not fish and chips, is it? So it's all, no one looks like they're enjoying it. Everyone looks panicked, don't they? They're always like, oh, thank God for the salt and lemon. They're loving it, aren't they? Do you know what make a tequila nicer? Do a tequila, then have a Cadbury's cream egg. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Take the taste out of your mouth. The thing is, as well, though, it's like I can't properly get on it now. I'm like a bit older. I'm not saying I'm too old to get drunk, but when I was 18, you don't care, do you? You can get battered. Just get on with it, right? Because hangovers, they say hangovers get worse. They don't, do they? You just have more shit to do when you're older. That's the problem. When I was 18 on a night out, I'd be getting on it. Someone might go, do you want some drugs? I'm like, oh, I don't know. How'll it affect me? What will my mum think? Oh, my God, drugs. Now, if I'm on a night out, so I'm like, do you want some drugs? Can't, mate. Got to paint a fence tomorrow. I don't want to be painting a fence all sad. All hot, sweaty and vulnerable, like, oh... I was really looking forward to painting this fence last night. Told everyone about it. I'm so hot, sweaty and sad. I'm more likely to keep hold of the drugs, do them in the morning before the fence, just smash it like that. I'll do the roof. Shall I do the roof? Let's do the roof. We've got no ladder. I'm flying, Mum.
Thank you very much, Rob. OK, that leaves with James. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And it's food and drink.
I'm not like Rob. I don't like going out and getting drunk. I like staying in. I drink on my own. Way cooler, man. I lock the door, I get myself a glass of punch. Is that weird? I drink punch on my own. Is that strange? I drink it from a big punch bowl with a ladle in it in the corner of my bedroom. Is that weird? I don't know what other people do. People are always worried about punch getting spiked. Solo punch, problem solved. Not to spike myself, unless it's Fun Time Thursdays. Tried going out with some mates recently. We hit the town. I'm a prankster when I'm out with my friends. One of them left me alone with his pint while he went to the toilet. Big mistake. It's a classic prank. I always do this if someone leaves me alone with their pint. I went round the bar using his pint to propose toasts with. Deliberately proposing toasts to things I knew he disagreed with. He comes back, has a sip. What you done with that? I'm like, ha ha. You just drank to the service charge being included in the bill. You just drank to those bedside lamps that don't have the switch on the cord like is convenient, but have it on the neck of the lamp under the bulb. It's like a bolt you have to somehow slide across, and you can't even reach it like that. You get your whole hand up inside the lampshade, and it hurts. It's really awkward. You can't even see it. You got to look at the top of the lampshade to see what you're doing, and then you turn it on and it blinds you. You just drank to those lamps. You love those lamps.
Thank you very much. Point to both of you. Come on. Very good. Thank you very much. The first subject is travel. Miles.
Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with trains. It's the quiet coach, OK? Quiet, that is an adjective. It doesn't go far enough. Quiet is an adjective. It should be called the silent coach. Shouldn't it? The silent coach. No one would have any trouble understanding that. It's the silent coach, right? You can't talk on it, you can't use your laptop, children can't travel on it, you can't eat crisps, and crucially, they, the train people, they wouldn't be allowed to make announcements. Because the sort of people that have the mentality to travel on the quiet coach, which is the correct mentality, are the sort of people who check where the train is going before they bloody get on it. For years, we've just not got these things right. Mock the weak audience, you're exactly the sort of people that know what I'm talking about. In Russia, during the revolution, right? During the Russian Revolution, the Russian army was able to travel to all of its battles by train. During a revolution, they were still able to rely on public transport. Imagine if we had a revolution now and the army had to rely on transport, we'd be buggered, wouldn't we? Certainly those of us who wanted the army to win. Absolute nightmare, wouldn't it? Marston Moor 2016 kicked off, the British Army turning up 7 hours late to every single conflict. Oh, sorry, there were leaves on the line at Stevenage. There was a passenger action at Crewe. We were going to be joined by the SAS, but they've been stuck on a rail replacement bus service in Horrified.
Thank you very much, Miles. OK, now leaves Milton. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the subject is music.
We don't know much about Galileo. He was a poor boy from a poor family. I live in a Grade 2 listed building, which of course means that everyone in it has to be quite good at the piano. Apparently all Chinese children who are learning to play the piano know a tune called Knife and Fork. I'd like to take the band ABBA out for lunch, and if I could, I would, my friend. Fernando's. When I was at school and it rained, we used to have to stay in for wet play. And when it was cold, we used to have to stay in and listen to this really dull band. AD 79. Julius Caesar receives the first ever weather forecast. Hail Caesar.
Thank you very much. Points there go to Better Jones. Come on. And the first subject is jobs. Who wants to come at that? Reese.
I've got a job. Yep, I'm not resigning. And my job is this, which still counts, Dad. This is a good job. It's not perfect. It's not the best job in the world. I would never say that. Some people think it is. It's not, right? Best job in the world, community support officer. With no power comes no responsibility. Best job ever. But nothing is expected of you if you're a community support officer, right? If it's not writing down someone's details, then it is beyond your remit. That is 100%. It's just vigilante admin. That's all it is. You're a professional grass. That is your job. I got a leaflet through the post a few weeks ago advertising that job, right? It said, do you have what it takes to be the best? Will you stand up in the face of danger when no one else will? No? Then you should become a community support officer. In the hierarchy of law enforcement in this country, it goes Army, Police, British Transport Police, Ticket Inspector, Traffic Warden, Park Ranger, Dinner Lady, Kid wearing Nike trainers, Kid wearing Adidas trainers, Community Support Officer, Kid wearing Umbro.
Well done. Reese. OK, that leaves with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel again. The topic is technology. OK, where you go.
The young couple next door to me have recently made a sex tape. I mean, obviously, they don't know that yet. The hardest part of making skimmed milk must be throwing the cows across the lake. The guy next to me at work used to watch porn all day. I'm just glad he didn't begin to rub off on me. I think if I was to try revenge porn, I'd just post naked pictures of myself online so everybody would know how low my ex's standards were. When answering the security question, place of birth, apparently vagina is not an acceptable answer. It's been a tough week. I got myself a memory foam mattress and now it's trying to blackmail me. I've currently got a stalker, but you probably can't tell in these trousers. A friend of mine was killed by the big sea. He was walking past Curry's and a sign fell on his head. I was watching TV and the announcer said there's a documentary about the clitoris on the red button, but I couldn't find it. Thank you.
Very, very good. Points there for Dinah Lady. Come on back. The first subject is health. Who wants to come in on that? John.
I went to get some test results from my GP the other day, and she sat me down and she said, "I'm very sorry to tell you, Mr. Robbins, but you've got gout." And I was absolutely stunned. She said, "You seem surprised to hear you've got gout." I said, "Yes, I am, because I'm not from the 17th century." She said, "The first thing you need to avoid, Mr. Robbins, is alcohol." Now, it's gutting, because what do you replace alcohol with? I am not a doob monger, nor do I ride the Chinese highway. By which I mean I don't take drugs. I think mainly because I don't have the vocabulary to oversee a transaction. So she says, "The second thing you need to avoid, Mr. Robbins, is cheese." And I said, out loud, to a respectable GP in her late 60s, "What the fuck, mate?" Then she gets this serious look on her face, and she says, "The third thing you need to avoid, Mr. Robbins, and this is very important, is offal." Well, I tell you what, if I didn't damn near spit that pig's ear clean out of my mouth. Turns out gout is actually a very serious condition, and after a lot of soul-searching, I've decided to cut offal entirely out of my diet. I'm not going to make you imagine what that's like. It's my cross, and I'll bear it. And I'll tell you how I bear it. Pissed and covered in cheese.
Well done. Thank you very much. That leaves us with James. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is moving house.
I moved house recently. Luckily. That's good, isn't it? It's fortunate. Touch and go for a second there, and that came up, and I was like, ka-ching! Jackpot! I did move house recently. Tad too drafty for my liking, my new house. Had to order a draft excluder by post. Best way to buy a draft excluder is by post, because when they deliver it, they post it through the door, it drops through the letterbox onto the floor. Already it's paying for its own postage. Moved to West London. I used to live in South West London. Different times, I was a different person. Used to be in a gang. Big time in a gang. SW6 gang is our name. It's the area of London we're from, is our name. And it's what we'd shout at other gangs we didn't like much. Like, if I saw the SW5 gang, for example, we'd shout at them, SW6! That's clever. I remember once, back in the day, we're out and about, SW6 crew, taking no shit. Looked across the road, we saw them, SW5 gang. And as soon as I saw them, I was cross. Shouted at them, SW6! As per. They shouted back at us, SW5! Which we expected, but it still made us angry. SW6 back at them, SW5 back at us, back and forth for ages. Until eventually, I got so overstimulated that I shouted out my entire postcode. In full, and that is why I had to move house.
Well done, points there for James Acaster. The first subject is alternative medicine. Can I have a volunteer to talk about that? Andy.
Apparently, a lot of people trying to get into therapy at the moment, other people knocking it, saying, you know, oh, well, you should just lose your inhibitions, talk about your problems to your friends. I thought I'd try this. I talked about my problems to my friends for a whole hour. Lost my inhibitions, also lost my friends. I now tell my problems to taxi drivers. 2 advantages in this. 1, it stops the taxi driver from telling you his problems. And 2, it's amazing how much quicker you get to your bloody destination.
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is the media. Who wants to come into that? Russell.
I'll do that. I'd see, you know, the way I like getting the news is Radio 5 Live. It's fantastic, 'cause it's just news and nutters, isn't it? They'll read out, like, that was the Pope's view on abortion, and then, hello, Felicity Puddleduck here, livid and ill-informed. I'd just like to say those harlots should give birth to their children aged 2 that charge you to national service. I'm off to bake a cake. And sat there listening, and then the next night, David, are you out of your mind? Cloning? Think it through. 2 versions of me. Want to go out and commit a crime? Who gets blamed for it? Me! I'm doing a 20 drink. He's banging my wife. Where's the justice? And you sat there listening to these nutters, and then the most ridiculous story. A man in Bristol's found the face of Jesus on a crisp. And suddenly, I couldn't believe how you put up my frazzles. There he was!
Russell Howard. OK, the leads are Hugh and Frankie. The next topic is sport.
Do you know, I've heard a rumour that horse racing may not be completely honest. It's unbelievable, isn't it? But how do you stop the corruption? Well, one solution may be to call horses something like mafia-backed second favourite. Because if everyone did that, everyone would be confused, no one would know who to bet on, and the whole thing would be fair again. And they're off, and the first to show is blatantly bribed, followed by mafia-backed second favourite. They're just ahead of Dope to the Gills, Mysterious Limp, and just behind them, Out for a Canter, and I'll Fall at the Fifth. And as they come to the fifth, I'll Fall at the Fifth has fallen. I'll Fall at the Fifth has fallen at the fifth in a magnificent display of cheating. And they're coming into the final furlong. Mysterious Limp is slowing. Out for a Canter is clearly struggling, but coming through strongly is mafia-backed second favourite. And as they cross the line, mafia-backed second favourite has won it, which is remarkable, seeing as he has no head. That's been left in someone's bed for tomorrow morning.
Well done, you. Well done, you. OK, Frankie, let's see what you've been left with. And it's environment.
Didn't that used to be an advert for mints? Ryanair getting a hard time from the environmental lobby because they've launched a £7 flight to New York. Although, as always with Ryanair, it does land slightly outside New York, in Dublin. It's a pity we can't harness more natural energy, isn't it? Pity we can't harness the power of British moaning. Oh, no, that moaning-powered light bulb's on the blink again. Oh, no, there it is, back on. Everyone complained about the floods, didn't they? I like storms. I like thunder and lightning. What I like to do during a storm is shag my girlfriend and pretend that we're taking part in the conception of the Antichrist.
Frankie Boyle, ladies and gentlemen. And getting that round, the points go to Frankie and you!
What has been compared this week to a bad pub quiz?
Is it not the week?
That is the least of the things that's been said about
It's
this.
the UK, it's the UK citizenship test.
It is a citizenship test, yes.
Isn't part of the problem? The questions are too trivial, they said, right? But I think they should just ask them, like, you know, like real British questions, like, for example, what scares you more, terrorism or snow? Snow? Welcome to the country.
I'll give you some samples of the question, right? Just so you get the idea of what stuff is being asked. And the problem is, you cherry pick any of these, you can make it all seem ridiculous. But they're quizzes, stuff like this. Which of the following statements is correct? The Mousetrap is a play that's been running in London's West End since 1952, or it's an environmental policy aimed to prevent mice from destroying crops. I like the way that it's like an ad for the Mousetrap, which it needs, you know. Other questions, which sport can be traced back to 15th century Scotland? Surfing, Formula 1, golf, or motorbike racing? These are the actual questions. These are actual questions off the test.
But this isn't like a bad pub quiz. This is like one of those quizzes at the end of before the break on ITV.
It is very, very difficult, though, isn't it? Because you've got to decide what to do with immigration. Everybody's got their different views on it. And the thing is that you have to make sure that people are going to fit in. And I heard this fantastic conversation with this bloke this week who went, what I should do is I should just ask one question, right? I should say, should there be immigration? And if they say no, you should let them in.
Well, they should be great if midway through the test, it would stop and go, OK, you've got Welsh citizenship.
Do you want to...
It's difficult, though, isn't it? For English citizenship, you should simply go, can you make this sound?
I think all they need is, rather than a test, they should give them more that crib sheet they give to Indian call centre workers. You know, hello, this is Tony. No, it's not Tony. What's the weather there like, Tony? Rainy. Yes. We've been found out. Shut it down. Move to Lahore. Open up again. Yes, this is Prime Minister David Cameron on a visit to a housing development near Manchester during this week's Conservative Party conference. At the conference, a number of high-profile policies were announced. Have you seen any of these policies?
Yes, they have announced that married couples are going to get a tax allowance, aren't they?
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be £200 a year. Yeah? Wow. To encourage couples to spend £4 a week. It's brilliant, isn't it? People going, walk out, go on, don't turn around now. Come on, eh? There's £2 in it for you.
It literally is a pint. You could just get a pint out of it, and then every week you're arguing about who gets the pint.
You're talking London prices here.
Oh, sorry, of course. If they break into a student bar in Stoke, you get hammered for a month. Well, I don't think that's going to help the cohesion of their marriage.
So at £200 a year, the average wedding is £18,000. So to break even, 90 years you need to be married for.
Don't go dying on me. I need another 23 years out of you. Come on.
We're not married, Andy.
No. That was like the weirdest romantic movie ever. Don't you die on me. Don't you die on me, Joshua Wickham.
Don't I feel the gooseberry?
Who's actually going to be... What decision would you make differently because it's £200 a year?
Well, my accountant advised me to become a Mormon.
But your account actually is a Mormon. He just hands out those leaflets all the time.
That was a completely unrelated anecdote.
It is really, because it's social policy, it's social engineering by dangling money in front of people.
He hasn't dangled it in front of people, he's waved it in front of people and said, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. That's what he's done.
OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things for a royal correspondent to say.
Isn't it wonderful to see Prince Charles being made king at the age of 137?
And the Queen there, majestically taking her place in the queue to withdraw her savings from Northern Rock.
The Queen asked me if I was from the BBC. I said I was, and she told me to piss off.
There we see Prince Philip going over to talk to a man from China. This should be interesting.
In fact, it's the Chinese Premier, and he's just asked him for a menu.
Prince Harry hasn't been put off by the congestion charge. He says he still manages to come into Chelsea twice a day.
Well, the crowd are absolutely loving this event. The night sky is dancing with light. Yes, the Queen set fire to Windsor Castle again.
It's great to see the whole family waving from the balcony through the sights of my AK-47.
The next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. James, which category would you like?
Sport, please, Dara.
Fantastic. Sport it is. The answer is 20 minutes. What is the question?
How long does it take to steam French beans so they don't squeak when you bite into them?
What is a frankly disappointing distance for the TARDIS to travel back in time?
How long does it take Joey Essex to fill in the name and address section on any form?
Is it how long does it take Oscar Pistorius to cross a cattle grid?
Is that a joke you wouldn't do on the last leg, is it, Schwitz? Famously one-legged host Adam Hale, is this? Were you bursting to get that joke out? Where
I've been sitting up for weeks!
On average, how long is it between Greek elections?
Is it how often does David Cameron have to take swine flu medication?
Is it when a man says he's going to make love all night long, what does he really mean?
Oh, let it go! It was one time, Gary!
Is it true or false? People don't understand true or false questions.
Is it for the rest of his life, what is the longest David Cameron will go without someone shouting, oink, oink?
Is it? How long had the pig been dead for before...
Is it how long was I watching the footy drunk for last Friday before I realised they were playing rugby?
OK, do you know what it is?
Yeah. It is, I think, how long was the opening ceremony to the Rugby World Cup?
Absolutely, thank you very much. Yes. What honour was the actor Nicolas Cage given this year?
Oh, Nicolas Cage, right? He's actually going to be able to turn the Christmas lights on in Bath.
This, by the way, aren't the lights in Bath. This is...
Apparently, what happened was...
Those are the lights in Dundee.
Somebody actually put a note through his door. He's got a house in Bath, and he's agreed to turn on the lights. I put a note through Cheryl Cole's door, and apparently that's a matter for the police.
Do you know what's really weird about this story?
Not only is it incredible that they've got Nicolas Cage to do it, but also there must have been an incredibly uneasy phone call to Barry Chuckle. Yeah, sorry, Barry, Nicolas Cage is doing it.
Well,
maybe they gave him a part in an action movie where he knocks out Vin Diesel by turning round quickly with a plank.
Do you know what's really awkward about this story? This is genuinely true. Until last week, I was doing it.
Really?
I was there. Yeah. And then from nowhere, Cage has just jumped. It's funny. All my relatives like, do you want us to sort him out? No, I don't want you to sort him out. Because we'll go around there and mess him up. Don't mess him up.
Because you were originally up for the part in Face Off as well, weren't you?
And what's really funny about it is the lady that posted the letter through the door is the exact lady that went, oh, we'd love you to do it. You'd be great. And then I read in the paper without even telling me, the big Nicholas... You bitch!
About 10 years ago, I switched on the Christmas lights in Kidderminster.
Wow!
And because I've been rude.
There are Christmas lights in Kidderminster.
Yeah, there are.
Were you asked to do this?
Yeah, because we've been rude.
He's been there again! We hit Bruce Willis!
We've been rude about Kidderminster on television. Got a letter from the Kidderminster Tourist Board or whatever saying, would you come and switch on the Christmas lights? So you think, oh, that'd be great, I'd love to do that. But you don't actually do it. Because what they do is they give you one of those enormous pretend switches, right? And you have to kind of go like this on a balcony to a crowd below, and you kind of go, oh, we're going to press the thing now. And you press it, and as you press it, a bloke in a room behind turns on a switch. So you're not doing it.
So hang on a minute, so that bloke's going to be me. I'm going to be the
Right. So you were asked to do it because you were rude about
Because I was rude about Kidderminster. I also did a joke once about Wolverhampton and got invited on a tour of Wolverhampton.
I'm thinking bigger than that. If I slag off Jessica Alba, do I get a tour of Jessica Alba?
Well, apparently Bristol wanted to have Bruce Willis switching on their lights, but then they remembered that he tends to get into a lot of trouble around Christmas time.
What weird modern-day inventions have been in the news this week?
There's a bracelet they've invented that shocks you if you don't go to the gym when you said you were going to go to the gym.
Yes, it's called it's a wristband, with a Pavlok wristband, and it gives you a motivational zap if you haven't. It tells you GPS-wise. It senses that you're in the gym or wherever you said you're going to be, or at the meeting you're supposed to be at, and it gives you an electric shock if you've not.
I don't think motivational and zap go together, really, do they?
It's basically a watch for masochists, isn't it? Yes. You know, it's like, oh, I've been a bad boy. Oh, I don't think I've quite been bad enough. Turn it up a bit more. Oh, I wonder if I put this on my penis, how this is going to work.
You wouldn't need to... Just make sure you're not down to 2%, you'll be all right.
You're saying if you go to the wrong website, it'll give you a little shock so you don't go on the website.
Yes, it does.
But surely if you go on a website that you shouldn't really be on, you just delete history, don't you? I mean, the tricky bit is not deleting history. The tricky bit is then going on all the innocuous websites afterwards so as it doesn't look like you've deleted history. That's the tricky bit, isn't it?
History seems to be very empty in this computer, because I saw you on it all evening yesterday.
Yeah, I never touched the delete history.
I've never on it, like, yes. Private browsing, Andy, private browsing. My favourite member of the Army Corps, private browsing. Good afternoon, private browsing. Are you on duty again? I certainly am, I shall be protecting you from any inappropriate sites. Private browsing, reporting for duty. Pants down, private browsing in here.
I shall protect your browsing while you shop for gifts for your wife. Because that is apparently what private browsing was invented for.
I love that. Oh, I mean, I've got private browsing on because I'm shopping for some gifts for my wife. Oh, really? You seem to be buying her pornography. Are you sure this is the gift she particularly wants? Private browsing. Reporting for
She
duty.
told me that her favourite film as a child was Double Fist and Fifth.
Private browsing isn't happy with it. Private browsing has never had to work under these conditions before. He's mainly used for shopping for gifts.
Private browsing is retraining as an electrician.
Why did you leave the army? Oh, the things I saw. I saw some things. I saw some things.
You weren't
in the
there,
army.
man.
You weren't there. You weren't there. You didn't see what I saw. The first casualty of war, my friend. Your private browsing, the first casualty of war is innocence. Private browsing. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what I'm doing like Benny Hill. Private browsing. At your service. Madam.
Benny Hill would do.
No, it'd be like, you know, what's it, the paper clip that would appear. It seems legit.
You look like you're buying some pornography.
Small animated soldier came out and said, do you want to look at the porn? Private browsing can help you with that. I'm amusing myself here. It's the last record of a long summer, you know. Literally, I've got to enjoy this because in 3 days' time I'll be going, over the next 12 weeks, 20 candidates will be putting themselves on sugar.
Private browsing's going to get some visitors.
He's going to get some fucking hammering.
I think your penis is going to get some corporal punishment.
There'll be some major damage and general recklessness. What do you dread and Colonel Abrams?
That was it.
Sorry, we'll bring it back.
Lost it.
Oh, stop. Colonel Abrams is great, though. None of you remember... Do any of you even remember Colonel Abrams? Anyway, he sang a song called Trapped. It was really good.
I can't get out. I'm trapped like a fool. I'm in a cage.
I'm like a man in a cage. I'm so in love with you, love with you, love with you. Sorry, would you like me to carry on with the show? Sorry. Yeah, whatever.
You boys have got a shared past we can only imagine about.
Yeah. Speaking of school, what does Theresa May have planned for schools in England?
She's going to abolish the Defence Against the Dark Arts.
She wants to bring back grammar schools, doesn't she?
She wants to bring back the sorting hat.
Stop with the Harry Potter.
You just had a conversation about Pokemon.
Yeah, but I know a tiny bit about Pokemon. I know nothing. I would ha 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 to his joke. Then your one appeared and I went, no, too much.
What do you think the sorting hat is, Dara?
Oh, I suspect they put names into a hat and they pick things from.
Oh, how wrong it is.
There's nothing magical about a raffle.
Did you learn nothing in all your time as a house elf?
Is it a large plot of land you inherited?
I went to grammar school.
Did you?
I went to an all-girls grammar school, and I'm sort of conflicted because the lefty in me is pretty much against the grammar school system, but it kind of worked for me, you know. On one side, it was, you know, people weren't ashamed of academic achievement. It meant you could... but on the other side, you know, there was no cock, so...
It's very, very divisive. And generally, people who didn't go to grammar school say there should be less grammar schools, not more. And people who did go to grammar school say, no, there should be fewer grammar schools.
You know, I think those children should be together. When I was at school, it was nice, if you were struggling, it was nice to see, like, a thicker kid struggling more than you. Like, for your sort of self-esteem.
Yeah,
you sort of think, God, this is hard, but, you know, he's not even got his pen the right way around. You know,
Exactly.
Yeah, you get too much competition.
You're denying every child the benefit and right of having a stupid friend. Like, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have John Ashmore, who once ate a bee because we told him it was honey-flavoured.
Listen, I entirely agree with just having a friend who's just there for you to bring...
Because in Ireland we had not so much with the different schools. We had streaming within schools,
within the
which is
schools.
where you have the clever kids would go into this class and the stupid kids were thrown in a stream.
The stream ran into the forest, and so they had everything they needed.
And it appeased the goblins who lived in the forest and ate the stupid children.
Did you have the...
Apart from the few that escaped and joined boy bands.
I think whatever we think of it all, it's going to happen because Michael Gove has come out in support of it. Do we not agree with that?
Michael Gets Things Done Gove.
Michael Gets Things Done Gove is back, getting the campaign loads of publicity, totally discrediting the experts, pushing it through, winning the campaign, knifing all the opponents and then knifing himself for good measure. Yes, please. Welcome to grammar school.
I was a teacher. When we had, like, top-achieving kids, I didn't bother, you know, like, if they finished their work, I don't, like, go or have something more different. Just go, continue and remain quiet, and I'll do with the other pricks that can't do any of this. Do you know what I mean? If anything, your proximity to me is going to damage your grades, potentially.
Comedy's gain really was teaching's loss.
What is the latest thing that school children have to worry about?
Is it Romesh going back to teaching?
Nits. It's nits. It's super nits.
Yeah. I'll tell you why they've got too many nits. Is because they're all sharing the same hat to decide which house they're going to.
OK, that leaves us with Tom. Let's spin the wheel. Let's see what your topic is. The topic is exercise.
Also a picture of me. I'm not very good at exercise. I joined the gym. I joined Virgin Active because there wasn't a Virgin Passive. And I found the whole process very intimidating. Like, when you go in there, you're confronted with all the cardio area, like the cardio area. They call it cardio because that's where you go to have a heart attack. And then at the other end, they have what they call the free weights section, the free weights, which I have no business being in because it's for the bigger boys. The bigger boys go there all day. They're lifting things all day, trying to get big arms, trying to turn their arms into legs. And I think it all really started at school. Like, I didn't like doing PE at school. What would happen is, after assembly, one class would have to stay behind in the hall because they'd be doing gym. And I never found out who Jim was. The worst bit was if you had to use the apparatus. And the apparatus basically was this huge, terrifying cage which had to be buckled to the wall. It was so terrifying. And older children would have to come in who'd been trained by the army. And they'd come in and they'd untether its bonds, they'd pull a lever and it would lurch out and it would swing out, and these huge, terrifying arms have to be buckled to the floor, otherwise it would just swing out and kill everybody. They had all these bars and ropes and chains. It was very much like a weekend I recently spent in Berlin.
Thank you very much. Again, right round. Come on. All right. We start with a round call. If this is the answer, what is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Zoe, which category would you like?
Politics, please.
OK, your category is politics. The answer is 50%. What is the question?
What is the name of 50 Cent's mathematician brother?
Is it what does Heather Mills save on IMAC?
What is the most you'll have to pay for a sofa at DFS?
What is a bad answer to the phrase, how much do you love me?
Is it the percentage of Ant and Dec that is forehead?
Is it you're a 19-year-old Glaswegian male how much of your life is left?
Is it, if I entered an orgy covered in Marmite, what would be my success rate? But to be honest,
I always find that when people say, oh, I'm a Marmite kind of person, people either love me or hate me. They're always people that everybody hates.
Is it how much of Silvio Berlusconi is made of oil?
Is it what percentage of the population, rather than a TV debate, would like to see Cameron and Brown have a cage fight?
I would love to see that.
So would I.
Yeah. Who would win that?
I would imagine Brown.
Yeah, Brown
He's got moves.
He's also got that dislocatable jaw.
Yeah, he can actually swallow your whole.
He could swallow
you.
you.
He can actually take a jaw down and
Imagine that. Wouldn't that be incredible? If Cameron ran towards him.
Cameron's legs flapping.
Is it, what was the proportion of cats that died during the making of my ill-fated television pilot, Cat versus Bleach?
It would be 100%, surely.
Do we have an answer that we can do?
I think it's what percentage of the top jobs in the Labour Party does Harriet Harman think should be filled by women?
You're absolutely right. Very good. Well done, Hugh. Thank you very much. Yes, the question I was looking for was, according to Harriet Harman, what proportion of the top 2 posts in the Labour Party should be allocated to Harriet Harman? Or more generally, women. This is the news. The Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, Harriet Harman, said that either her post or the job of leader should always be occupied by a woman because, in her words, men cannot be left to run things on their own. Her actual words.
Listen to that applause. Did you hear that? Bingo wings in the corner.
I mean, you know, there is something about representation of women at the high levels of government, but that actual quote does make it seem like every time she left the room, it would turn into a chimp's tea party. Sorry, and she'd come back in and they go, oh, sorry.
It's true, though, isn't it, that women are underrepresented in the top echelons of politics. I know, in Italy, for example, there are lots of women in the top jobs. You can be... Berlusconi will put you in the cabinet in Italy at the age of 19 if you're good enough. So you can see where it's coming from.
Harriet Harman's an incredible figure, isn't she? You know that Harriet Harman, when she first came to my attention, she wrote a book about the history of feminism, which she dedicated to her husband. She's mistaking sexism with people hating her.
She's always saying stupid things, isn't she? She said she is Radio 2 to Gordon Brown's Radio 4. And you're thinking, well, she's not Radio 2. Radio 2 is the most popular radio station in this country. If she's anything, she's Isle of Wight FM on a Sunday morning at 3 o'clock in January when the transmission mast is broken.
Some are watching is there is the guy who does the 3 o'clock in the morning slot. Why am I the shorthand for crap?
Wouldn't it be great if he looks exactly like Harriet Harman as well?
I know their female politicians always have an element of freakishness, don't they? She's a bit of a freak. Hazel Blears looks like Gianfranco Zola humped an Oompa Loompa. And Margaret Beckett looks like a face trapped in a haunted mirror.
The next topic is unlikely things to hear at Wimbledon.
Well, at 2 sets down, let's see what he's got in his locker. He's not going to be there for about 20 minutes. I've got a crowbar.
Serena Williams has been seeded. You've got to admire the bravery of that bloke.
Hello, I'm Sue Barker. You may remember my father, Chew Barker.
Well, they say that the All England Club is a bit behind the times, and that's why this small boy has just had his hand chopped off for stealing a strawberry.
I am a tennis umpire and gay, and it wasn't easy to come out!
What a fantastic slice, but I do think the All England Club will insist she wears knickers again next year.
Well, how did the umpire get up there? I think he must have used a set bladder.
Of course, this year the British players play a lot better. If we look at this graph, we see huge biceps and an angry... Sorry, Steffi, wrong graph.
And for any of our Scottish viewers, what you can see there in that glass of Pimm's is fruit.
Andy Murray here. Andy Murray not being able to make it here today, but we do have his cab driver on the other line. Can you tell us what's occurred? I can't get out of the cab!
And the mound has taken a real pounding in the last fortnight. I think the All England club are fine with it as long as it doesn't affect her tennis.
First subject is unlikely things for a sports commentator to say.
And that's a wonderful sleight of hand from the Welsh fly half. He's picked up the loose ball, he's tucked it back in his shorts, and nobody seems to have noticed.
I can see Nico Rosberg's helmet.
Apologies, after 15 years in this job, I've just been told it's not pronounced croquette.
And after that victory, they'll be dancing on the street of Samoa tonight.
100 metres in 4 hours, 26 minutes, and that is metre reading at its very best.
Now, Garry Kasparov, he's going to move his pawn. And he's done it just in time. His wife's home, but he's got it under the bat.
Welcome to beach volleyball. The players are currently getting changed into their kits while their mums hold a towel up in front of them.
And Shane Warne will be laughing on the other side of his face after that surgery.
I'd like to apologise. What you're watching is, in fact, judo, and not, as I said earlier, timed pyjama cuddling.
Well, this should be relatively easy for Rory McIlroy. Oh, how has he done that? All he had to do was say, get a Santander 123 account.
Kasparov toying with his bishop. And oh, no, his wife's home, she's caught him!
Ah, that pot was remarkable. But now I've got a major case of the munchies.
We'd just like to refute the idea that the BBC has lost coverage rights of all good sports. We now cross to a girl playing noughts and crosses against a clown.
What a thrilling cricket match.
Left hand, big right hand again, big left hand. Why has no one put these gloves in pairs?
What the fuck is a furlong?
OK. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panellists can come up with. OK, the first subject is things you wouldn't hear on a breakfast show.
Morning.
Just checking, this isn't live, is it?
And later on, you could go on the trip of a lifetime because Gino's telling us how to cook acid.
And coming up, we're speaking to 8-year-old coffee aficionado Jasper, who has just claimed the title for Britain's youngest wanker.
See me, right? I've had enough of all this bullshit. I'll tell you what's what after the break. Join me, Lorraine.
You're watching Good Morning Britain on ITV+1, so the clock in the corner's wrong and you're already late for work.
Well, to hear more about the explosion in the opticians, let's go to the Flying Eye.
Reports coming in of a major incident at the origami finals. More on that as it unfolds. And now for the 60-second news roundup. It's Rosie Jones. Hello. Goodbye.
Later on, we'll be looking at what causes breakdowns. I mean, maybe it's getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do this job for 5 years, maybe.
Today on the show, we're discussing sexism. Why is it that when a woman says she slept with loads of people, she is called a slag? But when I say that, I am called a liar.
Well, just time for one final quick look at the papers. Yep, she still wants a divorce.
Oh, Piers, that's such a compassionate, well-articulated thought.
And now let's find out what the weather's doing in your area. Or you could just pull back the curtain, David. I mean, do I have to do everything for you, for goodness sake?
Travel news now. Chaos on the trains as one of the lubed-up passengers has fired out the window.
And now for every lad's favourite part of the show, it's the weather. Over to Ask a Bloke One. Switch it to Babe Station.
Well, it's backing up at Junction 2, but don't worry, I'll get a poo in the next break.
OK, the next topic is unlikely lines from a Star Wars movie.
Chewbacca did not die in vain. These Ugg boots are lovely.
Sorry I'm late, everyone. I was just in my bunk having what we refer to here on the Falcon as a hand solo.
Yeah, give it a few minutes. It's an energy-saving lightsaber.
I've done you a favour, and now you owe me one, Kenobi.
Actually, this Ewok identifies as a she-wok. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, Mother Week made a set that was fucking inaccessible to disabled people. What are you doing?
No, I gave up ages ago. I'm Darth Vader.
Speaking like this normal is not. Call me an ambulance. Having a stroke, I am.
If this is space, why aren't we all floating around?
It is the War of the Clones, or as I like to call it, Love Island.
Welcome to the Death Star. Sorry to be one of those hosts, but we're actually a no-shoe Death Star.
Right, cancel all my appointments. Chewbacca's just booked in for a Brazilian.
Oh, my God. Someone's doing a Jedi mind trick on me. I'm not in control of my hand. I think they're trying to send you a message.
Oh, no, I'm not Darth Vader. I'm Darth Vader's Tory brother, Taxi Vader.
Oh, do we have to fight with lightsabers? It's just that no one looks good under strip lighting.
That was Tom Allen with Jedi for the Straight Guy.
Give that round of points to Tom, Hugh and Rosie.
The first subject is interviews. Who wants to come in that?
OK.
Matt.
Go for that. It's fascinating watching different politicians and how they deal with interviews. Ed Miliband, when he gets asked a question he doesn't like, will just have this amazing technique where he'll just ask himself a new question and answer that instead. And it really works. He got asked before the election by Nick Robinson. Mr Miliband, you've said you've set a new mansion tax. If you become Prime Minister, but you won't yet tell us at what rate you would set it. And Miliband just went, look, Nick, if you're asking me, have I got a plan for the housing market, then the answer's yes. It's amazing. Farage is one of the best ones at it, because no matter what you ask him, he'll get a political answer in somewhere. You could say, Nigel, what you had for breakfast, mate? And he'd go, tea, toast and the Telegraph, great British breakfast. He always manages to get his messages across. Boris Johnson is fascinating because he just loves avoiding questions and he uses a twin-track approach of flattery and Latin. And this genuinely works. If he was here now, you could say, Boris, come on, just admit it. You want to be Prime Minister. And he'd go, oh, no, let me just say, great to be here amongst such great learned people on this crucible of culture. Reminds me very much of a phrase my father used to use, divitas, divitum, rectum.
Well done, Matt. Very good. OK, so James is left. Let's see what he's been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is Britain.
I wish I was Mexican. Love everything about... I love Mexican food. My favourite place to eat is a Mexican restaurant called Oaxaca. All you need to know about Oaxaca, everyone steals their spoons. So much so that every January, Oaxaca have a spoon amnesty on. You bring back one of the stolen spoons, and then they reward you with free tacos. Genius. Not only do they get their spoons back, they also get to watch while the thieves eat tacos, which I imagine have been interfered with beyond belief. Love Mexican food, love Mexican music. Mariachi music, best music in the world. Top 3 mariachi songs. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3, nothing, because there are no other mariachi songs. Ever been to a mariachi nightclub? It's full of people just going up to the DJ like, hey man, have you got yeah, I'll play it next. How about open your ears, I'm playing it right now. To request that song during the next one. Growing up in school, I was the only kid in my whole school who liked mariachi music. It was a nightmare. I couldn't walk down the corridor without some knob knocking my sombrero off my head. Stepping on the back of my poncho on the way in a maths class. Once, a kid wrote Chimichanga Bumboy across my forehead while I was having my post-lunch siesta. He also drew a moustache on my face, but to be fair, that played into my hands.
Bravo, very good. It's close, but for sticking to the topic, James Acaster gets the points. Well done to both of you. Come on back. OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the topic is health. Where you go?
I'm a lot sportier than I might look. In fact, I picked up a little niggle at the gym the other day. I mean, he pronounces it Nigel. I had a very stressful journey getting here today. All the way, this lorry driver was right up my arse. But it was nice of him to give me a lift. I spent most of the afternoon hanging out at the swimming baths. And then somebody told me and I tucked it back in again. I put on a lot of weight recently, so I rang up Weight Watchers. I said, it's an emergency. Can you send somebody round? And they said, yes, we can. We got loads of those. My grief counsellor died recently, but luckily he was so good I didn't give a shit. I accidentally kicked the dog earlier and he bit me on the bollocks. My mate said it's karma. I said no. If anything, he's even more angry. I asked the vet, what can I do? I think my dog's racist. He keeps barking at the Asian man next door. And the vet said, muzzle him. I said, I don't know, but he's got a beard. I went round to see my nan. I said, what you been up to? She said, weed in the garden. I said, well, at least you didn't shit in it. I was in the garden with my girlfriend earlier, and we saw the 18-year-old girl next door, all dolled up, ready to go out clubbing, and my girlfriend said, do you know what? At that age, I could really see myself in her. Which was weird, because I was thinking the exact same.
Thank you very much. Well done, David. Point there for David. Let's spin the wheel for our first topic. And the topic is exercise.
We all know we need to do more exercise. I mean, we've now got the fattest kids in Europe. I'm not going to make fun out of obese children. I've learnt not to do that. They will come down on you like a ton of bricks. I didn't like exercising as a kid. When I was a kid, I was made to go swimming in a pool that had a Veruca pool before you got into it. The Veruca pool. Do you remember the Veruca pool? They actually called it the Veruca pool. You can't encourage children to walk in something that's called a Veruca pool. It's like offering somebody the use of your chlamydia flannel, isn't it? I mean, I try and exercise a bit more now. I've started doing yoga because apparently it increases your flexibility and spirituality. And I've got to be honest, it's pretty good. I'm now so good at the downward-facing dog, I have on occasion caught glimpses of my own third eye. I did a half marathon though a few months ago, which was pretty good. You know, don't be overly impressed, which you're clearly not. But I only finished yesterday, so there's clearly a lot of work to be done. And I did the run for charity, and I know a lot of people are doing things for charity. You can't just exercise now, can you? You've got to do it for a good cause. And I get a lot of those emails. I know we all do. You know, will you sponsor me? Will you sponsor me? I'm like, what are you doing? I'm flip-flopping up Kilimanjaro for diarrhoea. Going across the Arctic for trapped wind. Are you? Don't do that. I mean, the last London Marathon, it cost me an absolute fortune because I sponsored loads of friends, right? I gave one friend 20 quid because he was doing it for cancer research, another friend 20 quid because he was doing it for heart disease, another one 20 quid because he was doing it for diabetes. In the end, it was actually cheaper for me to join Bupa.
OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the subject is work.
I didn't think I'd get a loan from the bank for my knitting business, but when I turned up actually wearing one of the balaclavas... I used to be a weatherman. In fact, does anyone want to buy a broken barometer? No pressure. If there'd been a mix-up, my uncle could have ended up as the next president of the United States. He's an undertaker in the army, or Barack Obama. Soldiers, of course, very emotionally repressed. Sometimes you see one of them go into the middle of a parade ground and shout, "Attention!" What he needs is a hug. Well, that's what I thought. My dad, he was a soldier, so, of course, as a family, we were always moving around a lot, because he used to use us for target practice. 6 hours I had to wait in the other day for the electrician until he opened the cupboard under the stairs and I was able to leap out at him. I remember when I was a policeman, I was asked to seal off an area and I went... That's all right, thank you.
Well done. Points there for River Jones. Come on back.
OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is advertising. Who wants to come in? Mark.
I just think aggressive advertising has gone too far. It actually has the opposite effect for me. I saw a trailer for a film, Them. It was called Them. So I know it's a silly name. What do you mean, them? That's just anyone apart from me, for a start. Right? We'll narrow it down a bit. But it said on this trailer, you'll never feel safe in your home again. I think, OK, I won't go and see that then, thank you. Who needs to pay £12 for that? Yeah, how's the film? Brilliant. We've had to move out, though, unfortunately. It drives you mad. After a while, you just think, can't people just calm down a bit? But in London, nearly everything is cleverly marketed, even toilets. In London, you never just get toilets that say men, women. There's always a theme, like, you know, bucks and does. I don't know the answer. I'm drunk. Where do I piss? Let's just cut to the chase, shall we? I was in London, in this pub, the toilet said XX and XY. Like chromosomes. I know, I didn't realise I have to revise for this wee, you know. I would have done different A-levels if I realised it would restrict my pissing in the future.
Thank you very much, Mark. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is charity. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
It's, cheer if anyone's ever given clothes to Oxfam. Fair enough. You whooped then. Woo, do we win a prize? No. It's a really odd feeling because you feel quite proud of yourself. Just where am I going? I'm off to save Africa. That's right. And you wander in, you just plop down your clothes. Always some lovely lady buying it anywhere. And there's a tiny part of you that gets really annoyed. You almost want to go, right! Well, we'll do that again, shall we? And this time you're going to act like you give a shit. It sounds bad, but there's a tiny part of you that wants her to go, sire, he brings goods. The chosen one has arrived. As you fling pants at orphans. Yippee, hurrah, will you ever be back in time, you needy tinkers, banana grass?
Russell Howard.